Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video today. Today, or yesterday, we ended up actually packing all the icons. We finally got everybody. So now, for the future videos, I'm going to be trying to collect all the teams. I might do tournament runs with different countries with the starting 11 that they actually use in real life to try to win the World Cup. So if Belgium uses the 3-5-2 or whatever formation that they use, I might do videos trying to win the World Cup with those teams and then seeing how I can do. Right now, I'm actually going for 100 and 0 in the World Cup tournament mode. Right now, I think I'm 40 something and 0. So I have one loss, but the one loss that I got was because I ended up clipping a goal while I was winning 3-0. It was, if you guys add me on Xbox inceptionxx, you'll see which goal I clipped. It was like a Ronaldinho situation where I did a rainbow flick, or not rainbow flick. I did a rainbow, and I did a first time volley, and from that first time volley, I scored. So I clipped it. But apparently, you actually have to pause the game first and then clip the goal in order for you to actually be able to do that. So I clipped the goal right away without pausing the game, so that's why I ended up getting the loss. We were winning 3-0 in that game. So right now I consider myself to be 46-0-0, but it really should be 47 because that 3-0 result, I was definitely going to win that game. It was like already in the first time, just dominating. But 46-0 is where I would stand at right now. But potentially we could reach 100-0. We'll see how it goes. The reason why I want to kind of reach 100-0 on the World Cup mode is because I need to show people how big of a difference it actually makes when you have essentially a God Squad. This isn't the God Squad. The God Squad is a team that I showed on my YouTube channel recently. If you go back to my other videos, I show you the 4-2-3-1 instructions video. I finally got Thierry Henry to replace Maradona with because of that physical. I needed to do this video to show you guys that, the physical, the pace, the shooting, the weak foot, all those things matter when you have a perfect team. So I really want to try to get 100-0 to show people how big of a difference a team actually makes, because this is as close to meta as I'm possibly going to get. Not this team right now, but the team that I showed you guys in the other video, plus Thierry Henry in replacement for Diego Maradona. So these are all the players. I'm going to go through them and let you guys know which players may or may not be good. So we'll do that right now. Ronaldo, the only position that you should be using this card is as a striker. 5-star, 5-star,
I played one match with
right-footed,
with
medium low work
seasons, and I
rates.
don't play anymore.
Really, really good card. He's basically perfect. He moves around the pitch really nicely. I gave him Hawk because his shooting stats are almost near perfect. His pace is almost near perfect. But I want to improve his physical a little bit because having a plus on that strength and aggression is going to be very nice with the pace and physical stature that he has in the game. Very, very good card. The only position that I can use him in is honestly in the striker position. Pele I've used in the draft, and Pele is a ton of fun to use, but kind of is in a similar boat with Maradona in terms of the physical part. The physical part of his card, he gets outbodied if you're coming against people that have very good center backs like Rafael Varane, Sergio Ramos, Laurent Blanc. So I like to be able to win physical engagements against someone if I have the right players, right? So it's really cool to have a really good team in this mode, although it kind of killed it a little bit. It's just nice to finally feel what it's actually like to have a full meta, because I've never had a full meta in any FIFA where every single position is basically occupied. But I'm still a little bit a ways off in the World Cup mode because the CDMs that I use in this game mode is Lothar Matthäus and Leon Goretzka. And the problem with those two CDMs is that I would rather not have high work rated CDMs in those positions. I would rather have them be medium high, and then one of them could be like high medium or high. I need one medium high to stay back there at all times, because sometimes they push up a little bit, but when I put anchor on them, they seem to play this more defensive style as well. So but the next card is Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho's incredible. This is the first time I use him in an actual team, as well as these other legends, and he's just absolutely unbelievable. Such a fantastic card. 48 games played, 38 goals, 41 assists. Beautiful, considering that he is playing in this central cam position. Thierry Henry just recently got him. He has 6 games played with 2 assists and no goals scored, but it's the stats isn't always the super relevant thing. It's always about like how the player performs in game, right? So he's 6'2", medium work rates. He has the tries to be the defensive line trait as well, and that's a really nice trait to have when you want your players to kind of make those really good behind the defensive line runs, right? So 4-star, 4-star. His finishing is godlike. 94 finishing, 86 composure. Isn't crazy, but it's still good enough. 88 shot power, just a really, really good card. He's actually one of the better cards in the World Cup mode, but I have noticed that using him as a cam, he's better utilized as a striker 100% because of that getting behind trait. But I would still rather much have Thierry Henry as one of my cams than, you know, someone like Ronaldo. So that's why I use Thierry Henry there. Lothar Matthäus is a god in the World Cup mode. I hate him so much in the regular mode, but in the World Cup mode, he's an absolute god. I love the way that he moves around the pitch. Very, very good CDM. Obviously, the work rates, he kind of pushes up sometimes. Not really ideal. Maradona, I don't like at all. Physical is lacking way too much. His finishing is very inconsistent, even if you put it on his left foot. But he's very good at those finesse shots outside the box. But you guys know that's not really my style. Like, my style is trying to get inside the box and breaking someone's defense down. That's what's fun for me when I play FIFA. So that's why when I use Maradona, I'm not a huge fan of it. And I'm not really sure why his finishing isn't good, because he has 95 finishing with 98 composure. His left foot just disappoints me far too often, right? Laurent Blanc is a god. I don't really need to say much about him. He's just amazing. Carlos Puyol, I actually enjoy using him, although he doesn't have the pace, so I don't use him in that full meta team. Bobby Moore is a very good center back, but again, don't use him because of the pace. Hernandez is fun, but he's missing the weak foot and the physical with the height. Yashin is just, for me, he's terrible in the World Cup mode. I'm not a huge fan of his. Okacha is very fun to use. Although he doesn't have the physical as well, but he's like doable, right? Like, he's a player that you can use and have somewhat of fun with. Lineker is actually pretty solid in the World Cup mode. I do enjoy using him. His finishing is actually quite consistent, considering that Maradona's is better, but Lineker's is a very, very good finisher for sure. Nakata, not too big of a fan of his. Klose didn't even bother trying him because his card is just awful. Shame on EA for making his card like this, because this guy is the top goal scorer of the World Cup, so he should have probably one of the bigger cards in this team right now. Rui Acosta is very meh to use. I've used him as a CDM sometimes, but he just doesn't fit that position very well, obviously because of the lack of defensive stats. And then there's Deku. Deku's actually really fun to use, but again, you're missing the defensive and physical stats. But he kind of feels like Modric, right? Like, he's a very fun center mid to use, and he's very usable. But that is all of the icons that we did collect in the World Cup mode. I am going to look into collecting the rest of the World Cup players if we do end up playing that all the time. If you guys want to follow me on Twitch, that's where we usually play most of our games, and we, you know, kind of like talk about the game in general. Be sure to follow it on twitch.tv/inceptionxx. If you guys enjoy the video by the end of it, which is right now, be sure to drop a thumbs up on it. It definitely helps out the channel a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.